Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Today we've got a real special build. What we've got here is a Cannonball Run Build-Off Invitational, hosted by Jamie at Devil's Details Diecast. Jamie got a hold of me and says, "Hey Paul, would you like to participate in this build? I'm going to assign cars to some of the other builders on YouTube, and we're going to have a really cool build off here representing the cars from the movie Cannonball Run, starring Burt Reynolds and a whole slew of other characters." Well, the car that he assigned to me is a 1975 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. Now, this is a really cool car, but you wouldn't think of this being a race car, but they actually have pretty powerful engines in real life. Now, this car in the movie was driven by Jamie Farr from MASH fame, and he played a rich Arab oil tycoon that loved to race. Here is the cast of folks that are participating in this build, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so go ahead and grab your favorite adult beverage and join along. Here we've got the car already apart, and we're going to put it in the embalming fluid. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to restore it to the original color of the car. Now, in the movie, the car kind of looked white, but when I got this car, and this is an Ertl casting, it kind of had a slight beige or a tan color to it. So we're going to have to mix up some paint to kind of match that car there. Now, this particular car, as I was drilling out the post, I actually snapped the tap off in the post. So I had to order a second car. Now we've got the base here we're going to clean up, and we're going to use flits. Folks, if you don't have flits, you need to get yourself some. Now, there's other products on the market out there that are good. Flits is great. All right? And I love this product, and I stand behind it 110%. Now, I've got a special announcement coming up for flits here in a future episode of videos, but this is definitely something that's going to benefit our diecast community. So keep an eyeball out for that, and we'll have things coming up. Here I sped this up so you can see that we got the base all polished. Man, what a great product. I love this stuff. Get you some flits right away. Okay, now we got to mix up the paint. Here we got the base all cleaned off and ready to go. We're going to start out with a base of white, which I've got here already squeezed into the cup. This is Wicked Color from Createx. Now here we've got some semi-opaque brown, and we're going to put a few drops of that in there, about 5 drops roughly. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get that mixed up. Now, it's not just a matter of white and brown, okay? You're going to get like a chocolate type color, you know, like a light milk chocolate. You're going to have to mix some yellow with it also. And this is just to give it that creamy color. Now, mixing colors definitely takes practice, so you're going to have to experiment and see what you can come up with. Now, even with the Spectraflame colors, you can mix those too. But use the colors and come up with your own. Now that we got that color all mixed up, we're going to put some Createx Balancing Clear. Now, what this does is it increases the adhesion to the car. You want to use about 10% on this, maybe a little less, well, maybe a little more. It depends. You're going to have to mix it up and see how it flows through your airbrush. Now, if you've got an airbrush that's got a needle with a 0.5 tip, you shouldn't have any problems with this. If you've got a smaller tip needle, like a 0.3 or a 0.2 or something, you're going to have to thin this up with some thinner to help it flow through the airbrush better, okay? But again, it depends on what compressor you have, what airbrush you have, etc., etc. Get your paint mixed up really, really good, and this is about the color that I wanted. So we're all ready to go. Now I want to introduce you to a new brush here. This is a Grex Tritium Series airbrush. This is the TF I'm sorry, the MFTS5 or the .5 needle in here. This is a double action airbrush and it works fantastic. The great folks at Spray Gunners sent me this brush to test out, and I've been testing it for about 2, maybe 3 months. Now you pull back for air, just like you see there, and it's got a little bit of a natural stop in there. It doesn't have the trigger on top. It's in front, kind of like squeezing the trigger of a gun, okay? And then once you get to that natural stop, if you pull back farther, that's what's going to feed the paint through there. But I'll tell you what, folks, this brush is absolutely fantastic. This is my new workhorse. I love this brush. Let's go ahead and get this car sprayed, and we'll show you what we got. All right, here it is. All sprayed up. Now we're going to put it in the dust cabinet and let it dry up. But that's exactly what we were looking for right there. All right, let's do the wheels. Here's the wheels that came with this car. Now don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell to be alerted to future videos. We got some real riders here that I got from Sam Ed Wheels. And check out Sam Ed Wheels on Facebook and on eBay. He's got all kinds of wheels for you, and he'll hook you up with whatever you need. Look at that. That looks good for a luxury car. Now the rims on these wheels are not exactly what was on the car in the movie, but these are going to be just fine. Now I've super glued those into place. Now here's the plate that goes over the wheels to naturally hold them in place, and it was all brittle and cracked up, but I'm going to put that back in place and glue that back in place to hold the wheels in anyway, even though they are super glued in. So let's put a little bit of this Gorilla Glue in there, the real thick gel type glue, and then we'll put this plate back in there if I don't keep dropping the darn thing. Go ahead and snap that into place over the little rivet there that holds it in place. Now we're going to put this little piece back in there too that snapped off, just because. There we go. There, put that in place and just make sure that it's in there properly. Now here we're going to take some accelerator and we're going to put a few drops of that in there, and that's going to help that super glue harden. This rolls nice. All right. Now this accelerator here, I got this at Hobby Lobby. This is Instaset. Now I put it in the bottle so I can control it a little bit better. If you spray it, it goes all over the place. I put it in the bottle with the needle on it so I can control it drop by drop where I want to put it and not spray it all over everything. It works really good with the super glues, and it's great stuff. So get yourself some accelerator too. Get one of these little needle bottles. I think I got these bottles at Bass Pro Shop, but I've got some on my Amazon webpage. Now here's the windshield. We're going to take a little Plastex polish and we're going to polish it up and hopefully take a little bit of that yellowing out of there and make that glass look really good. I got the Meguiar's Plastex polish at AutoZone. It's good for headlights that are yellowed and stuff like that. Just a little bit on a cloth. And get a nice dry clean area and start wiping it down. Now you will know when you're finished doing this because it'll start to squeak on you, and it'll be really smooth, but it'll still be squeaking. That means that you've gotten pretty much most of that contamination off there. That's looking sweet already. A little bit here, a little bit there, get that taken care of. Make sure you get all the windows, the ones on the side, the back, and the front. And if you have to polish it a little bit more and you're not happy with it, just use a little bit more polish and a little bit of elbow grease and it'll take it right off. Now if you really want to dip it and make it look good, you can put it in the gauzy, or you can put it in your Pledge Revive or whatever you got, your future floor finish, and that'll make it look really good too. That's looking super. Let's go ahead and move on. Now let's talk about this new airbrush. This airbrush here I got from the really nice folks at Spray Gunner. And I've been using it and reviewing it for about 2 to 3 months, okay? I'll tell you folks, I love this brush. Now it's got the capability of using it on the cup on the right hand side if you're right-handed, or on the left if you're left-handed. The protector cap for the needle is held on by a magnet, and if you don't want to use it, you can put it on the back because it's held on by a magnet there also. And this is something patented by Grex. Now, that's incredibly excellent. Now, the trigger that normally would go on top on a double action airbrush, you have it in front of you like a trigger of a gun. You pull back for air, and then once you pull back a little farther, that's when your paint comes out. This particular model comes with a 0.5 needle. This is good for very thick mediums. The kit comes with a nice, excellent hose. It comes with a inline air adapter for adjusting your air pressure, okay? You can just turn it whenever you want to lower it or raise it. That stops you from having to do it with your compressor. It comes with a large reservoir if you happen to be doing anything large for your hobbies or the automotive industry. If you're doing touch-ups on your car or hobbies in your house. It comes with a really cool cap also. And then, of course, the reservoir that you saw on the paint gun already. Here it comes with a spray nozzle that you can put on there for your wider spraying applications. Again, if you're doing automotive repairs or whatever. Now, the cap can be adjusted to spray horizontally vertically or horizontally, depending on how you turn the cap. Now, that's a really excellent feature also. Of course, it's got all the directions and how to use all the adjustments on the airbrush itself. Now, the airbrush here also comes with a different protector cap for the needle. When you're not using it, like I said, you can put it on the back. Now, this protector cap allows you to get really close for those really fine detail jobs that you want to do with this airbrush. It's shaped differently, and I'll show you here. There you go. This will allow you to get super, super close. Now, all these caps do, folks, is protect the needle. That's all they do. So you definitely want to keep that on there if you're not too steady with your hands. And like I said, the little knob on the front there, you can put your reservoir on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, depending on whether you're right or left-handed. Now, I love this gun. Like I said, this one here comes with a 0.5 needle. You can get a 0.2, a 0.3, a 0.5, or a 0.7. Now, this happens to be if you're using thicker mediums, or if you happen to be spraying metallics or metal flake or something like that. The Grex Tritium series, folks, I can't begin to tell you, I love this brush. I absolutely love this brush. I'm glad that they sent it to me because it's mine now, and I'm not going to let it go. I love this. I use this for spraying all my Chroma Air paints and my Createx paints, etc. It's a little bit more expensive, but folks, get you one of these guns. They are great. Here's the body all painted up and detailed up. We detailed in the lights, the headlights, the door handles, etc. Here's the base. We polished it all up. We put brand new Real Rider tires on there. We made up some fog lights or some bigger lights in the front there. That was really neat. We polished up the glass. That looks excellent. We'll be able to put that in there. Here's the interior. Now, it's got an engine on there, even though the hood doesn't open. But what's really cool about this car is some of the models, you can see the places for the hinges, that they made this car so they could have it where you open the hinge or not. And here's what we started with. This 75 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow from the movie Cannonball Run. This was a lot of fun, and I can't thank Jamie enough for inviting me. Now, please make sure you go to the other folks' pages and check out their builds for the Cannonball Run. There's a lot of really cool cars that are being made, and if you get a chance, watch the movie again. It's actually pretty darn hilarious. There's a lot of car chases. There's a lot of fun. There's racing. There's a lot of jokes and humor. It's a really, really cool, funny movie. It's an older movie, but you know what? Have fun with it. It's fantastic. And again, check out the other folks' builds. Now, while I'm here, make sure you get over and check my Four Horsemen build, which is going to be posted today also. This was a lot of fun and didn't really do a lot to it, but I did make it a lot cooler, I believe. And here's what we got to. Look at how nice this turned out. 75 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow with the real riders, all the details we put into the car, the paint that we put on there with that wonderful Createx paint from Spray Gunner. We made up the really cool lights in the front, the fog lights. This was a fun build. I really enjoyed it. Even though on the first car I had, I snapped the tap off in the post. Hey guys, I make mistakes too, and I'm just a guy like you that loves the hobby, that loves to have a lot of fun, and I share with you what I do, how I do it, etc., so you can do it too. And I know you can do this, okay? I got a St. Patrick's Day build that you should probably try and get into and have fun with it. There's going to be some prizes given away for that too. But this was a really, really fun build, and I can't wait to see what the other folks came up with also. Jamie, thank you so much for inviting me to participate in your build. Check out the folks at Spray Gunner. They got a lot of things for your airbrush needs. They got airbrushes, compressors, paints. Check out this Grex Tritium TS Micro Spray gun set. This is the one that I own. And folks, it's fantastic. You won't be wrong by buying yourself one of these sets. But check out their complete line of everything. The paints, the guns, the compressors, and all the other supplies at spraygunner.com. Please check them out. My name is Paul with Diecast Graveyard. I had a great time today. And again, check out the other build that I released today for the Four Horsemen for the Dakar Rally. That's going to be a sweet build too. My name is Paul with Diecast Graveyard. I appreciate you joining me here today, and cheers.